Buenos dias. Buenos dias. It is Friday. Shout out to Grace. And it is October 6th, my friends. Octubre 6. Who wants some Spanish lessons? I think most people who are listening speak Spanish. Hey, listen, if you don't, and if you want to, I could do some clases de español. And I'm sure some people are laughing at me because I'm like, yeah, right, Patty. I just realized that the music was super loud. But anyway, not anyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. We're gonna do the family in the car. Jimmy is setting up in the car right now, and we'll do a quick birthday shout out and all the good stuff. So, like I said, theme is family goals and desires, and drinking this morning the last of my cafecito. And guess what, people? I finally went walking with my sister, virtually, FaceTime. I was doing like steel maze, yoga, waking up late because Papi has been waking us up. Success. Last night, slept through, just went to the bathroom. So it was a good night. So we are so happy. So happy. Did you guys hear me with the music? Oh boy, I hope you did. I was saying that we slept through and finally did a walk with Claudia. All right, my friends, thank you for liking, subscribing, showing up to our morning show. Let's go for our birthdays. Today's birthday. It is Crystal Menstress Bishop. She is a fun entrepreneur I met in Staten Island through a friend, Kashan. Yes, Kashan. Because she did this kid entrepreneur, I forget. And it was really cool. She's an event planner as well, and I believe Joshua was in one of her events. So anyway, we met up at the Mustard Seed at a cafe because I love meeting people in cafe. And and then we did an interview, which I will drop it in the link. So happy birthday, Crystal. I hope you have an amazing weekend. What are you up to nowadays? Let us know. Let me know. We'd love to reconnect. And looking forward to reconnecting. So giving you a shout out here. Oh, why is the seat on? Zito, you just interrupted my show. All right. Why don't we go to the weather? And then I'm going to meet you guys down over there by the car because we're taking a ride. Am I bringing the doggy or no? Where's my call? Okay, it's a lot of noise. I have the power to mute him. Okay, cool. Let's keep talking about the birthday. So Crystal, sorry for the interruption. Have an awesome birthday. And let us know what you're doing. What are you up to? Okay. So for the dad joke, I am going to call somebody through Jimmy's phone so they could share a joke with Jimmy. So we're going to hold on to that one when we get into the car. And today's topic is I'm a writer, but we're not talking about that. I mean, our whole season is about that. And that's not just a writer, it's really the artist within, whatever that is for you. So we're talking about family, we've usually done family challenges, but today we're going to talk about goals and desires. So I'm just going to leave it in here. I'm going to see you in the car. And now Jimmy is nowhere to be found. Oh, okay, there he is. Okay. So we're gonna put him back on in a second. I'm gonna grab my stuff. And I see you guys in the car. In the meantime, we're gonna do a little let's do a little birthday Spanish birthday music as I get over there. How's that? Can you guys hear it? Jimmy, can you hear it? Yeah. Are you dancing? No. Oh, I muted you. There he is. You warming up the car? Oh, are you telling me to hurry up in my own show? Wow. Oh, how rude, people. How rude. Okay, I hope this works out that when I log out of here, is it gonna do? Oh my god, look at his face. He looks so impatient. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up in here because I'm actually not sure how this is gonna work out. I'm gonna end it. Can you hear me, Jimmy?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm just wondering if I leave here, if you would still be able to do the stream. We'll test it out, guys. Family
Yeah,
goals and dreams.
it should
What?
be fine. Don't
Okay.
don't end it. Just sign out over there.
Oh, okay, got
Just,
it.
just
All right.
close your.
Thanks. You're so kind. No one can see you, but he's telling me to wrap it up, people. Wrap it up. Okay. See you in the car. Zito, tell us the weather. Goodbye.
Weather is nice. Another day in paradise. It's pretty good out. Not too hot, not too humid. Mixed scattered showers. Should be a good day. Should be a good day. I tired my dog out yesterday, so I got plenty of sleep. Before I went to bed, got to see a great Wheel of Time finale. Which I really feel like the show is coming into its own. So I'm proud of it. It had, I guess, a lot of things to synthesize, a lot of road to travel, if they are going to do all of the books. So I kind of see how all the pieces are fitting on the board. So hats off to Wheel of Time. She said she was only going to be a minute, right? I should know never to believe her. But here we are. What's the weather in your neck of the woods? All that fun stuff. Let me find my. Okay. And so the star of the show is not here yet. Don't even see her coming out the door. Losing my voice. Let's leave her. Here she is. She's running now that I started the car.
What's up? So what were you guys talking about?
About how to never believe you when you say you'll be right there.
Wow, talking smack.
Well, the weather I was done in like 5 seconds.
No. How do we put it where both of us come here?
That's okay.
All right. Cool. All right. So
Your door.
I'm looking forward to listening to all the smack Jimmy was talking about me. Hey, good morning, Leslie. What was Jimmy saying about me?
She wasn't there. She wasn't there.
She had said good morning.
I think she just came.
You missed it. Oh my gosh. He likes to talk smack, people.
I'll talk smack,
but
I only speak the truth.
I get to review this and see what he was talking about.
Oh.
So anyway, family goals. Oh, I just ran in here. I need some air. So I hardly leave my dog, people. So leaving her to go and have solo time with me at the cafe this morning, it's a big thing. She's out there crying like someone killed her. But I'm gonna be here. So Leslie, let me know if Jimmy was talking smack. If not, that's good. Anyway, how do you guys set up like family events and stuff?
I let you handle that.
Yeah, which is annoying because how many of you, your husbands or spouses or whatever, boyfriends, girlfriends say, "Oh, you plan it out," and then you plan it out, and then they judge you. Mm-hmm. This guy.
Well, it's just I'm helping. We're going over it,
Yeah,
so
whatever.
you can do better next time.
It's awful. So in that case, I don't like it, right? I was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this together because I don't want to hear it." So I certainly know that although I think I am being in control, like, woo, I get to do it, and we're gonna do this. At the end of the day, who wants to be judged? Like, oh, maybe we could have done this first and then that, and maybe we couldn't have been running around like chickens without heads, because he likes to tell me that. And I am in this journey of doing one thing at a time, where I'm not like, para ganar tiempo, so we could earn some more time, kill two birds in one stone. It's my whole life. I mean, Leslie, I know you mentioned last time I said this, that it's so true. That's our moms. That's the whole crazy philosophy. But anyway, it's also a lot of good time and fun. Oh, look at the kiddies going to school. They're looking little duckies lining up to go to school. So today is what I wanted to share, what we do to set up. So one of the things to get this guy over here to plan with me, I gotta take this guy out. Like, we gotta go have brunch, or go to a library, or go to a bookstore.
You don't have to. It's only if you want me to be in a good mood.
Isn't that horrible?
But you have a choice.
Oh, throwing it back in my face. I love it. But anyway, which at first I was like, what am I pulling legs here? And then I was like, well, what do I want? Do I want him to be part of the planning? Of course I do. So budgeting that out, setting money aside for our planning, it's become key. And I know a big influence has been, again, I go back to the book, The One Thing. The One Thing was written by the CEO of Keller Williams, the real estate company, with his friend, something Papa, what's his name? Jay Papasan. And it's an amazing book. And I know they did it for real estate agents, but it's really for anyone in leadership.
No, that book was like realizing, oh, this concept is applicable to everybody. Like,
correct.
Not even people in business, just
everybody.
Not even people who are running a business. You're an athlete, or you're a stay-at-home mom. Or...
Aren't you making it left?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I had to cut him because he's about to cut all these cars. Sorry, but you're right. Okay, let him fix his thought.
Let me cook.
let him cook. Jimmy's students, when other kids want to interrupt, they're like, no, let him cook, like, let him finish, right? I thought it was funny. It's like, I guess that's a new saying. But yeah, no, Jimmy's correct. The One Thing, it was the other book, obviously, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That's the one was made for real estate agents. But that's when Jimmy was saying he realized that, wow, the son, the concept really does apply to moms, to anybody. And I certainly have been applying it with moms, or any moms I work with, because it's
churches,
it's a lot, churches and things like that,
colleges,
yeah,
classrooms.
What, are you applying any of that with your classroom?
Nah.
I'd love to bring it back to him. My honey talks a lot, people.
Of course I do. But we have to remember that we need to be human beings, and going through the process means getting dirty. You're not a robot who goes, what is my one thing? I overcome everything with my one thing. No, man, you gotta go through some stuff.
That's what actually people think what it is.
You gotta go through the dirt. You gotta get knocked down, and you gotta maybe scrape your knee, cry a little, or maybe say some type of 4-letter word or something. Not on the family show.
No, that's what most people think that discipline is.
But then you get a second to reflect.
I think
you get yourself back up.
I think you're just trying to act smart right now.
No, I am smart.
I'm simply putting facts to see if he's applying it.
All the coaches out there are
Because
like, you need to go one thing.
But
take out your pen.
I really do think that this guy right here is derailing from the question I asked him how he applies it.
Derailing.
Derailing. Whatever. Yeah, guys, you understand. That's like the one thing. I hope you guys like. I'm not coming here telling you guys what oh my gosh, look what I'm doing. It's more like this is actually what I do. I'm not like it's like the process, like as he was saying, but he brings up a good point because I think most people think it's like this robotic thing as he's mentioning, which if we don't take the time to do it, right? And maybe that's why he's in my life, because he's a hippie. Which when he wants to, but he could be very, very uptight.
Which is why I love hearing Gary Keller talk, and maybe we could link somewhere in the comments or however it works. I don't do those details. Like Lessons from a CEO, the podcast they did. Just because he doesn't specifically talk about
think as a CEO.
Think like a CEO, yeah. He doesn't specifically talk about the one thing, but you could see his whole development over, like he's kind of summarizing his whole story there. You can see like how messy it was and how many times he wanted to give up, and I don't know how we're gonna get out of this, but the way that
he heard 2 episodes, people.
I heard more than that actually. Only because every time we're in,
and I made him.
No, I got to like 4. Okay, just saying. But stories are powerful, right? Like even trying to say something to somebody like formulaically.
Huh?
Formulaically, like
what's that?
Like here's the formula that's gonna solve your life. What is the one thing that will make everything easier or unnecessary? Versus, like the actual story of going through that process. That's a great truth or truthism.
So that's what I was asking you. In your messiness, how are you applying that in your classroom?
I am.
I'm saying how.
By putting one foot in front of the other.
Tell me what's the one foot.
Constantly reevaluating.
Oh, there you go. That's it. Yeah. So you reevaluate.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
But I wanna complain a little bit first.
I see where we're going with this. Yeah. I will say that's the difference. For me, I hate complaining and I hate self-pity. And maybe that's what makes me a little bit annoying to some people. Because I have like zero compassion on self-pity and on complaining or talking about others. And so we have like a little clash when we go through this. So my process gets messy. I get messy in my writing. Sure, has it come out with him? Absolutely. I get crazy. But yeah. It was just oh wait, hold on. I hear signs, yes, Tito.
Oh, I totally forgot. I'm sorry. Oh no, but you are inspiring in the fact that you don't complain, not in your lack of sympathy. But
I prefer empathy. We'll go over that.
Lack of empathy, whatever. Exactly. Because you've done the hard work, you've done the reps. So you're like farther along on the journey, I feel like, than most people in my circle. Because you don't complain, but that's because you've practiced. I think at your core, I think you actually would be a regular complainer like the rest of us. But you've done the reps, and like you're like this fit CrossFit athlete of mindset change, and you're like, you need to start complaining.
No.
You need to do the reps.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is complain in the morning with pen to paper, because there is magic in that.
Don't tell me, tell your journal.
Oh my God, Jimmy's really annoying me.
Use it for your reps.
But he's giving me great insight of what people might be thinking, because he's not the first one to say, Patty, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be robotic. I've heard that before. And meaning, all I said is like write 15 minutes in the morning. So, or plan out your week. And I don't know if Leslie's still here, but
People usually leave when I start talking more.
When you plan, it gives you that freedom. People actually think the opposite. Oh, if I plan, I'm not going to be free and spontaneous. And it's like, no, it's actually the opposite. When you don't plan, you're running around like getting fires. Hey, Leslie's still here. Okay, cool. So Leslie, you could chime in on that, right? Like, we plan not to be robotic. We plan so we could put as much fun as we want. And really, what that is, it's I think it's like a fear from people who don't want to write things down. So anyway, all that to say, she's been watching the whole arguing back and forth in here. I love it, but it's not an argument. This is how we talk. I love to what is the word? Sorry, I got distracted by the cops over here. I love to get like the feedback from people because it does help to get what people are thinking. And sure, I give it to my husband with this whole thing of the sympathy for me is or lack of sympathy, as he said. To me, sympathy is I don't like to feel sorry for people. I want to be there for people, right? Instead of like, oh, like you add to the complaining. Like, what does that do at the end of the day? Nothing. It just adds to the fire, to their fire. But just being there, to going out for going for a walk. Oh, wait, no, we got a Leslie comment. I'm definitely a planner, and Tommy isn't, so I can relate. She can feel my pain, right?
Oh, wow.
And I, which is cool too that we're married like to the opposite.
I'm sorry,
because
I could just see that happening.
Yeah,
like Leslie being like, we got to be here at this time. We got to bring these things, and Tommy's like, let's just go with it. Let's just go with the flow. It's gonna be great.
Which is cool too because when we make like our planner our thing, so it's good to add that. But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to share is that it does at the end of the day give you more freedom. But back to the sympathy part, empathy to me means being there or doing something, as Mark England, my mentor, talks about, like being of service, being there, like writing a letter, sending dessert, like the act of kindness versus, oh yeah, that blah blah blah, beep beep beep, right? But actually being there for someone. So I believe that people want validation, and what we forget is that the validation's got to come from you. Because if we're going to wait for our spouses, our moms, whoever to validate you, we're going to be like dead, because we can't change people. I can't have him validate me. I got to stand in who I am, and does he validate me? Of course. And I hope I validate you in my love and our commitment and our partnership. At the end of the day, I think when we're seeking so much, pity, it's because we think we're the victims of what's happening to us, and it's more about reassuring who you are. So anyway, so that would be my. This is why I was like, no self pity. Sorry, no one's gonna get that, and yeah. So I'd rather just stick to empathy and stick to being there for people. So anyway, this was an interesting conversation on family goals and desires. We're going off on Saturday to go and plan out the rest of fall because we're in a new place, like I've been mentioning in the show. We're at a place where we didn't plan to be. And as I said, that's going to happen. Like, we could have great plans, but at the end of the day, that could derail. What was the word again?
Derail.
Yeah. And so what do? You, as he was mentioning earlier too, like, and what I like to scream on top of the roof is reevaluate and reassess. Okay, so what are we reassessing here? So we're currently in a situation where we didn't have made those plans. even in our living situation is not what we had planned. So how do we reassess with the challenges or the challenge? We have one big challenge, not to mention the present challenge. Anyway,
well, I think it all boils down to, like, the difference between strategic and tactics.
say more.
So, like, strategic thinking, a lot of people can get lost in that. That's like your long-term goals.
Yeah.
That's like where you're going, the directions. But your tactics is like what happens in your moment. In the moment, what do you do in the moment?
Yeah.
So you have to think strategically, but you have to practice tactically.
That's
Like
good.
you have to
Great
have
word.
those drills and those quick simple rules. Like when everything goes wrong, what do you do? Right? Because strategy, it's almost like imagining this nice straight line,
Which is not life.
this is where we're going, it's going to be amazing when we get there. And the tactics is boots on the ground, messy,
I like that.
so I think strategy is the time to be like, okay, what went wrong, what worked, what didn't work, like,
which you do, by the way.
and that's where I feel like it's better for the pen and the
Yes.
paper time,
Yes.
and just really like reflection.
You're good at
But
that.
tactically, that's like in the moment. That's like getting hit in the face, right? Every fighter, boxer, martial artist has a plan about how to beat their opponent if they're good when they get into that ring, and that plan lasts until you get hit in the face.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're all in, and then it's down to your training, the things that you've trained. Tactically, how does your body react? How do you react?
Yeah, you're definitely tactically really good at that.
And I think people who major more in the tactics, they look like the ones who are constantly running around putting out fires, and the people who
yes,
the people who really focus on their strategy, they're the ones that they look like they don't really, nothing really faces them. They're sitting in their office, like trying to get the big picture, trying to get everyone on board with their values and everything. And I think you need either both types of people, or like you need both types in your life.
Yeah, I will say that more than the bigger picture, like the big vision, and Jimmy is like the step by step. And I like how you said strategy and then tactics. So yeah,
like I've had different seasons in my life too. I've had different seasons in my life where I was more all strategy, and then even coming into situations where people who were more people who were more tactically focused, like I came in after they had left. And you could see like they were so busy putting out fires.
In the after school program.
Yeah, that like my big focus on strategy actually in the short term hurt programs, because all of a sudden all these things that used to be just getting done because people running around putting out fires. I remember the first time I went.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
And I
without saying names.
Yeah,
what's one example?
I got put in charge of like a department in a YMCA, and someone knocked on my office expecting me to change the toilet paper. But the person who was there before me cared so much about the organization that they were willing to do those little jobs. No problem. They would run, they would get the toilet paper, they would change it. Where I was
thinking you're stuck up.
Where I was like, I'm doing my big thinking. I'm planning like 6 months ahead. Like, what do you mean you want me to change the toilet? Like, go find the buildings people. That's their job.
Yeah.
But like a proper balance would have been like, oh, okay, let me go change that toilet paper. And then how can we plan for this in the future? You have to put out the fires. You have to. I used to exist thinking that was bad. Like I needed to just focus on my strategy. Like let things burn. And I think that's short-sighted.
Okay, so it's cool that you said that, because I know when I could get frustrated about you not planning with me, it's because like I've seen you plan like 6 months. I've seen you bring the calendar. Why are you not doing that with our home? So, but that brings, so instead of getting frustrated at that, it's like, oh, okay, so we could all play different roles with different things, and that's okay. I think that's why I'm walking away with that. So Leslie, I don't know if you could relate to that, right? But I think we what's it called, the yin yang, whatever, like the opposites, does help, because it reminds you, because okay, so Leslie could definitely say something like, you know me, like I could be very wild, disorganized, crazy, last minute, totally spontaneous, and that is like the one side in some stuff. And then I always say that I was like I fell so much in summer camps and after school programs as an administrator that I had to learn the hard way when programs were closed because of me, when things went down horribly. And I was like, whoa, I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta, get my files in order. And it did help me because I got organized at work first for my programs, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I planning? Why am I doing all this for the YMCA or whatever nonprofit I was working, and I'm not doing that for my own life, for my home? And that's how it started for me. Like this is like 2006 to about 2010, where I'm like, why am I not doing this? So we all go through this phases. So I'm gonna say, like, so our phase right now is like where I take Jimmy out to play with me. But it also brings like that balance because I could want to plan and like all the time. And so I just think that that's really cool for us to go with our families because it could be challenging. We just had like the Zito discussion over here, and it goes like this pretty much when we drive. So I hope you guys get together as a family, embrace the differences or the seasons, the phases that we're all going through, and embrace it to set some goals for you guys, for us, right? Instead of for all these companies, because for so long, both Jimmy and I, we had 1 year where we only had 1 week off, and I think we went on a cruise, right?
I think so.
Yeah, this is in Snug Harbor, or like right in the transition.
You both worked when we went on the cruise?
Oh no, you did. When was it? Okay, I guess it must have been our first year of marriage. But like for me, before I got married, I only will have 1 week off. One. And after dating him, he will like take me out every week, and I'm like, why am I not having fun during the weekends? And I'm waiting for that 1 week, a whole year, where I could be having a blast. So anyway, yeah, we've worked so many times because at the after school programs, whenever the school was closed, I had to be open for holiday. And we spend most of our lives sweating, breaking our backs for other companies, and we totally forget about ourselves. And I learned that lesson at 2 a.m. call in the hospital, and I say this all the time, for an anxiety attack that I thought I was dying, for the doctors to tell me, oh, nothing's wrong with you, and not understanding. So anyway, I hope that you guys go out there, make some, or maybe even start asking questions, what your family wants to do. And I'm having family over in 2 weeks, so I hope to make plans for them too. I'm looking forward to. My mom is looking forward to. And thank you for joining. And Leslie, I think you are still here. Thank you for joining the conversation. Letting me know that you could totally relate. Yeah, it could get frustrating, right? But I hope that we get to embrace the differences, even though it can be very challenging, as we all know it. But there are moments and phases that we all go through, and I believe that's part of partnerships, of commitments or marriages. So, anything else you want to add as we leave? Oh, hold on. Leslie said, I'm planning for family too next week. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, and it's so I know that. Okay, so Leslie is the one person that when she comes and visits, she gives us all notices in advance about our brunch, the cousin brunch. And so I really appreciate you for doing that, and keeping us all connected as well. So kudos to you. Anything else you want to add for family goals and desires?
No, I'm good.
Okay, we're good, everybody. Thank you for joining. We will see you on Monday. We actually don't even know where we're gonna be going on Saturday, but wherever that is, there's gonna be some dancing. And we'll see you on Monday. I see though. Oh, hey, hey, let's go. Thank you, everybody, or thank you, Leslie, for tuning in. And we love you.